everybody. Welcome to HK3 News. We're excited to talk to you a little bit today about the combination of the blockchain world, cryptocurrency, and a rewards marketplace. We've got Mark Kreitzman. Did I say that right, Mark?
You did. You said it correct.
Fantastic. It's always, when you have somebody on the show, it's always a little bit of a landmine when you're trying to pronounce an interesting name, and you've definitely got an interesting name. So how are you doing today, Mark?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me on. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We're excited to talk to you here at HK3 News, and we're going to talk a little bit about Cellbones technology, right?
Correct.
So what is that? Give me the 411 for those who know what the 411 is.
Okay, so Cellbones Technologies is a technology company at heart, and we are developing a global mobile rewards platform based on blockchain. So at a basic level, we build mobile apps that allow users the ability to earn rewards based on themes. And by theme, I mean theme of apps. So we could have anywhere from 2 to as many apps as we want in a particular theme. All the apps work together. You can earn rewards on each of the apps. It goes to a single balance. And the first theme that we've picked is blockchain, because right now ad platforms such as Google and Facebook don't allow the promotion of blockchain. So you can't promote your ICO or airdrop or anything related to blockchain.
Right. It's kind of frustrating for us because we talk about the blockchain and Facebook actually won't let us advertise the show. So
yeah,
if you are watching,
this
is an interesting plug. If you're watching today, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. But so talk about how that marketing engine works.
So the mobile apps, they're rewards apps. So the motivator is that consumers, users that have smartphones around the world, and that's, you look at the emerging markets, for example, some of those countries like Indonesia and Vietnam, they have more mobile devices than people in the country. And about 53% on average in the emerging markets have smartphones. So it's a huge market. And they would use our mobile app to earn our token, which they can then use that token for certain purposes. So that's the motivator. So we get people to sign up for a new crypto wallet or register for an ICO or take a survey. There's all kinds of different ways they can earn. And then we're going to add more apps so they have more opportunity to earn rewards and use those tokens.
So, and no matter what theme, whether it's, you kind of mentioned before in our interview, kind of the pre-show interview, hey, for you guys who don't know, we do this a lot live. I talked to Mark before this just to make sure I could say his name right. So, you talked a little bit about the sports world, and that was a really interesting application. So how would that work?
Yeah, so we're going to have multiple themes. So the first one is crypto, where people get rewarded for tokens based on their actions of doing things. Our next theme is a sports theme, and we're going to have our first sports app out by the end of February. So they'll be able to use the sports app to do things like pick who's going to score first, who's going to win the game. It doesn't cost them anything to enter, and then they get their rankings, and the better they do, then they're going to earn rewards on that based upon how well they do. So it's going to be more of a competitive platform. And again, we want each theme to be a little bit different on why and how they would earn those rewards to keep their interest. So, 90 days from now, 120 days from now, our goal is to have around 7 or 8 different apps, and they all will reward differently so that they won't get bored. So if they use the sports app to watch a particular sport while they're sitting at a bar or at home, and then they can use a crypto app to earn. So we're going to have crypto, sports, utility apps. We're going to monetize things like alarm clocks. Could be a calendar app. Where
that was actually, when you mentioned it, the alarm app was a really cool concept. I think some people may really like it. Some people might be rough with it, but the alarm concept was really cool. But at the end of the day, all these rewards, right now you go to a rewards program and you really can only use the rewards in that one place.
Correct.
How is this different than that?
So the platform itself is much different. So So there's obviously a lot of rewards apps that are on the Play Store and the App Store today. They're all single purpose, and they're all limited by the UI, the space on the phone itself. So it's easy to get bored. They're usually for one single theme, and so you get bored and people stop using them and they throw them away, or they just uninstall them from their device. So
And sometimes they
Cellbones
never
is
really get the rewards, right?
yeah, and they could engineer it so that it makes it really hard for them to get rewarded. So we want people to get rewarded because we also have an e-commerce store. So the differences would be that, and so we looked at all those apps and we kind of threw them out and started over from scratch. And that's why we went with this, built it from the ground up to where all the apps work together. And so a user could have potentially, 10 or 15 of our apps. In particular, the ones that we're really interested in are the top 5 that people use every day. So if we can monetize that kind of behavior in addition to like a sports app or a crypto app, then we think we really have something. And so I would say the big difference is our ability to do themes and our ability to connect all of the apps together where they can use multiple apps and all the rewards go together.
That was a really interesting concept to me, and I'm sure to other people as well. You go to this app and you do this thing and you earn some rewards. You go to this app and you do these things and you earn some rewards. But the beautiful thing is all those rewards go in the same place, right?
Correct.
And that's wonderful because, I might be really excited about sports on these couple of days. And on these couple of days, I might be really excited about the news. And whatever the case may be, wherever I'm at, wherever I'm consuming something on a mobile device, I'm able to earn rewards and come back to a central reward center. And then I loved how you mentioned you're going to have like a little microeconomy.
Correct. So we want to build a community. We want to have a community for what we're going to call, well, I won't say the name yet, but it's going to be a community of sports fans and a community of crypto fans. And there's sponsors. We already have multiple sponsors that pay us to advertise, whether it's through banners, so they pay us in fiat currency, or we earn their token for the crypto market today. We use referral links, affiliate links, and we're earning that way.
Now, I'm going to pause you a little bit, Mark, because some of our viewers, this may be the first thing that they're seeing on HK3 News. And they may not know what cryptocurrency is. So if you have any questions about that, we have other episodes that you can check out that can help you learn about what blockchain is, what cryptocurrency is, so that you can kind of understand the power and the ingenuity, the genius behind what Mark is building with Cellbones Technologies, and how this network of really themes, properties, can really help you take advantage of that really cool little mobile device that you have in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, the crypto token does offer advantages to us as well. And that's one of the differences between what exists on the Play Store, because they're typically just points-based or fiat-based, which has some disadvantages. So we use the crypto token because once the user earns enough rewards, they're sent the crypto tokens. They own those. Nobody can take them away. They're in their crypto wallet, but they can send those tokens to anyone in the world. So if you earn tokens in the US, then I can send those to somebody in India or the Philippines or Indonesia. Then they can use those tokens to buy
that's fantastic.
One of our products.
So Mark, one of the other advantages, so what most people don't realize is that when you have a points-based reward system, you get to pretty much set what the value of those points are, right?
Correct.
Now, there's really no way to find out how valuable those points are. There's no real comparison. Is that right?
That's well.
In most reward systems.
In most reward systems, correct. Yes.
Right. You don't know what the real value exchange is, but with a cryptocurrency, you actually get to see a value placed upon that outside of your ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, one of the key things about our project is if you look at all the blockchain projects and the ICOs, they basically have a white paper and a website and they raise money on a concept. And what we've done is we're doing that last. We actually built the technology that makes this all work, and now we're updating all of our websites to make it work. So the technology itself is there. And when we have our e-commerce store in full operation in production mode, the users will be able to go to the e-commerce store and see exactly what they can get for their tokens. So today we have mobile data and voice. So an end user would be able to go and see, for example, in Philippines, X number of our tokens would be able to buy them 24 hours of unlimited mobile data.
Now that kind of hits home for me because, Mark, as we talked about, I spent a couple of years in the Philippine Islands. So shout out to all my peeps in the Philippines. So if I earn mobile data and exchange my rewards for mobile data, I can actually send that to my people in the Philippines.
You can. I mean, as we talked about, before, where I was talking about how I flew all over Asia and I had a little, pouch of all these SIM cards.
Bag of SIM cards.
Yeah, and so I used to have to go to the concierge at the hotel or go to the mall or a phone, mobile phone kiosk and buy the little coupon code, and they would text it into my phone. It's a cash economy.
Yeah.
With our reward system, you can under Wi-Fi or go to Starbucks or at home, use these apps, earn your tokens, go to our e-commerce store, and a mobile data package or recharge credit can be sent to your phone, directly to your phone. It will ping you on your phone. All that exists already in our back end. And so what we hope to do is make mobile data voice for free. We want to have enough apps to monetize enough activities. So when they just use their phone normally, they set their alarm, they go to a sports bar and watch a game. Well, a lot of times you pull out your phone, right? And you're looking at scores. Well, with our mobile app, when they use that app as they're watching television, no matter where they are, even at home, we're going to be able to monetize that activity. And that's what's building the value. So whenever they earn tokens, we've actually monetized that activity. The token has value right from the time that they
all right. So Mark, you're burying the lead a little bit here. So here in the United States, so we're in the United States. Mark, you're in the U.S. too, right?
Correct.
Now, here in the United States, we have a really weird mobile network. You pretty much choose one carrier, and that's the carrier you use. You pay a monthly price. You're not really playing with SIM cards very often. You're not loading things up over time or running out of stuff. So what most people don't realize is that around the world, and for those of you who are viewing this outside the United States, you guys are going to think we're weird. We think you guys are weird in how you guys handle your mobile data. And that's interesting because there are so many people in developing countries that just aren't able to get that kind of unlimited connection, and they can't just pull something out and Google something because there's a limit on how much data they can use. And I think that's slowing down a lot of these developing countries. And if we can actually help solve that problem, Mark, that's a big problem to solve.
Yeah, when I originally wrote the white paper, I went down to the beach in Thailand and wrote a white paper in 9 hours. And it started out as a humanitarian type project where I want to make mobile data and voice for free and help those people, because the reality is in 85% of the world, if not more, people make choices between their mobile data and voice or food or
and
rent.
Water.
Yeah, and so they're making those kind of choices. So it definitely started out as humanitarian, and that's still one of the reasons why I call it my baby, and I'm proud of the goals that we're trying to achieve.
So Mark, this is why I say you're burying the lead. Because hopefully, if you've come along this far with us and been excited about the tech, you're even more excited about the story.
I am. I'm very, very passionate about it. As I tell people, my motivation is on steroids right now, and we're getting very, very close. We just came out of beta. We've had around 14,000 installs at this point. We feel very confident that we're going to be able to achieve everything we want to achieve. That's the reason why we're now starting on our actually third app. So we've got 2 apps on the Play Store. We've got a couple demo apps so people can see how they can use other apps and get those rewards. So we've got a couple game apps, and so gaming actually is one of the other themes that we want to get into.
Fantastic.
And so we're looking to raise money here pretty soon, and we'll actually acquire apps. So one of the unique things about the way we architected this is that when I was flying around Asia and Europe is, and this is really worldwide, is the mobile operators in particular, all their revenues and their market share are flat, especially if you're like number 3 or 4 in the country,
in a market,
or even lower in a market.
Right.
Yeah, you have a tough time competing. So they're all looking for creative and unique solutions for acquisition and retention. And so that's part of it. And part of our goal is to go eventually get to the point where we focus on a couple countries, get enough users, and then go to those operators and say, look, how can we make this an acquisition and retention tool and make it free to the users so you get paid? And we'll help you build, what could be an economic benefactor for the mass market. Because
right, but what people don't realize is that a lot of these third world countries and developing countries, those companies, those cell phone providers, those mobile data providers, they need more consistent and increasing revenue to invest in infrastructure.
Oh, absolutely. And outside the US, they have the disadvantage, in a sense, that the majority of phones are dual SIM cards.
Yeah.
So not only do you have to retain that person, but if you're in the Philippines, you most likely have both a Smart and a Globe SIM card in your phone, or a Globe and a Sun. And so it's very easy to switch around, and it's not unusual for people in the emerging markets to pull their SIM card out, put another one in when credits run out. And
well, there's an interesting thing when we talk about infrastructure as well. There were parts of the country where only one system worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's an infrastructure thing.
Yeah, and the operators will sort of engineer, the coverage. So if one has the inner cities, for the people with money, and they'll usually have maybe more of the iOS users, whereas the second or third carrier will go for the remote areas, and it'll be 99.5% Android users. And so the one good thing about, and one reason why mobile data in general is spreading around the world is because phone manufacturers are now being started inside the country. So Philippines has multiple manufacturers, Vietnam does, India has a whole bunch of them. And so they don't necessarily have to resell the ones out of China anymore, and they're getting really competitive. So the last smartphone I bought was for $25 in the Philippines.
That's
and it's
amazing.
not the best smartphone, but it worked. And so what's happening in the emerging markets is the mobile services is now more expensive than the phone. So in the U.S.,
especially on from a yearly basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here, you buy a phone, you typically keep it for a year, 2 years. I tend to keep mine for a long period. But in India, I think the average life cycle of a phone now with the people who buy phones is now down to like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
Because they buy the latest phone. It's like $100 and it's got great specs on it. They use it for 4 months, and then another competitive company comes out.
And it's a better phone, and it's only $100.
So they sell that for $50 or give it to a cousin, go out and buy a new phone. And that's how they rotate phones. And there, you just pull the SIM card out, put in another one. So,
right.
Acquisition and retention is pretty key in the rest of the world.
And so this is a huge problem. It's a bigger problem than most of us realize in the developed world. So, Mark, I want to, props. Hey, this is a really awesome idea. We've been excited talking just about this, about both the technology, about the story. We really are excited to follow along with your journey. So one of the things that we're looking for is how people can get a hold of you and how they can support you.
So the easiest way would be to, they can go to cellbones.com. So it's cell for cellular, C-E-L-L, bones. Bones is the name of our token. So it's cellbones.com. And if they just scroll all the way to the bottom, they'll see our social media for Facebook on our Cellbones pages, as well as our initial rewards app is called ICO Minter. And sort of like ICO Minter, meaning you mint coins. So the crypto rewards app is centered around ICO Minter, and it's based on Android only. So we're initially going to go after emerging markets, and that is 98% plus Android.
Yep. Well, that's fantastic. So remember to take a look at cellbones.com. We're also going to post some links, and we will check back with Mark soon. So Mark, thanks a lot for being on HK3 News. We're excited to have you, as well as talk a little bit about this amazing story, and we will keep in touch because we want to see how it goes.
Thanks for having me on. I will definitely update you, and just to plug that we have an STO, a crowd fund that's going to take place. It's scheduled to hopefully start on February 10th or 11th. So you should be able to get some information off of our website when we do update that information. Just we're waiting for it to be 100% confirmed, but we're one of 14 blockchain projects. If anyone's in the Phoenix area and you're looking and you have some social media skills, following things you want to apply to blockchain, if you're in Phoenix especially, then look up the meetup for Blockchain Consortium. There's a number of different blockchain groups in Phoenix, and join and see if you can apply your skills to one of the projects.
We would love to connect people to the blockchain environment here in Phoenix. So absolutely. Mark, again, thanks a lot. We hope to see great success coming out of Cellbone Technologies, and thanks for being on the show.
I look forward to coming back. Thank you.
Now, for all of you that are there watching this, either in replay or live, we want you to do us a favor. If you thought this was great content, you got some good entertainment, information, down below, hit subscribe. You can like this video, and you can always comment below as well. If you have any questions for me or for Mark, we'll make sure to get them to Mark. Now, because he'll probably answer them better than I will. But as far as seeing when we go live next, which actually happens the last 2 Thursdays of every month, down below you can hit the little bell, the bell icon down there. Go ahead and hit that, and you'll get a notification when we go live. This is Kyle. I'm from HK3 News, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.